Yeah.
You
It's
went.
showtime. That's because we were going live. And we are live.
We are live. Morning, everybody. We've got
morning.
a co-host today.
You got what?
Huh?
What were you saying that Remy got?
I said he is feeling the effects of packing boxes and everything. And so he's become way more needy, and it's just been a little difficult.
Face. Oh my gosh, his markings. He's so pretty.
Yeah, he's got his first in-person live dog show October 16th. So now it's time to put your big boy panties on and get out in the show ring.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. Hi, AJ. Hey, Annette.
How's everybody doing? And today, what are we talking about?
I don't know. Today, 24-hour blitz, baby.
It's Wealth Wednesday, and you know, here's the cool thing about I'm doing multi-screen, so I'm not ignoring you. But Wealth Wednesday, you know, is the day where we pay it back, we pay it forward. I guess you should say, pay it back, pay it forward. Kind of the same thing. You know, if you're not paying it back, if you're not where you want to be yet, then you're paying it forward. You know, it's that wealth mentality. You know, I tell people there's one way to never, and again, I'm talking to the people who are looking to acquire a certain level of income or a certain level of wealth. You know, those people who want to be able to go buy, you know, land in Montana and retire up there as Jana's about to do, you know, and if that's your goal and you want to do that, there's the one way never to get there is to be jealous of or dislike people who get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're jealous of those people and you're not cheering them on, or you say, well, I don't like them, they, you know, they this, they that, you know, you'll never get there. And so paying it forward, you know, paying it forward, is so about, you know, paying it forward and paying it back, you know, is so about saying that's where I want to be. I want to be able to do that, whether it's putting $1 or $5 in. And we say that about the diaper boxes, you know, and I still get a kick out of that. And so I did it last week. And so one of the boys was like, who's going to get that? Can I go back and get it? I go, no, you can't go get it. And they're like, why not? I go, that's not for you. You got a baby? No. So, you know, I said, but think about the person who sees that and how excited they're going to be.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Well, you start to look. So I've never really participated in that until I was exposed to, you know, Ray's, you know, training on that. And I know Alan's been sharing that with us for a while too. But so the first time I did it, you know, I'm in the Starbucks line and I look behind me and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a single girl, young, probably going to college.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is perfect. So it's interesting. And I couldn't wait to do it. Like, you can't wait to do it. And now yesterday, I had an opportunity to do it yesterday. So I did it yesterday as I saw a need. And I'm like, you know what? I was saving my thing for today. And I'm like, you know what? This is where it needs to go today. But it's so interesting. It does. I always think of people who are generous. You want that generous heart. That is where you want to go. I mean, that's where I want to be. And it just comes with a little bit of responsibility because it's been given to you, right?
Right.
So why not give a little back? I mean, it's not ours anyway, right? We're a custodian for it. We're only on this earth for a little while. We're supposed to manage it and take good care of it and multiply it and pass it on. And
a beautiful world if everybody had that mentality and felt like that. Wow. It would just be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
You know, I mean, and tithing is so important. You know, that's and when we talk about the Bible, I'm no expert on the Bible, and it doesn't take long for you to figure that out when you're talking to me. But I do study it and learn it, and have seen where, I mean, let's be real. There's been times in my life where I didn't have God in my life, and it wasn't so good. And there's been time when I have, and it's been much, much better and amazing. So it's up to you. You do your thing, whether you call it God or whatever your feeling is. Whether you celebrate on Sunday or Saturday or Wednesday or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. But, you know, there's the one time in the Bible where God says, do this and see what I do for you.
Yeah.
He challenges you. Like, hey, tithe 10% and see what happens. I challenge you. You can't outgive God. And so we talked last week about the jars, the 3 jars. And you put these 3 jars and then you go and you fill one to the top and you fill one halfway and you fill one just a quarter of the way and you say, who gave the most? Well, you would think, well, it'd be the person who gave the full jar. But the reality of it is the little girl who had nothing, who gave gave the most for herself. And whether you're, I used to work with a guy who his thing was when he was first learning, he'd give away, he'd go to the store and get silver dollars, and he'd give silver dollars away, and he'd say, "This is just something to remember me about," or "This is I just like." And he said, if you give it to kids, they just think it's the greatest thing in the world. Oh, it's a silver dollar. Oh, it's amazing. He said now I'll go into restaurants and see a waitress that I know and that I see that's struggling, or she's 65 years old, and good and well she does not want to be there waiting tables, and I'll hand her $100, and whether she's waiting on my table or not, and I, here's a tip for you today, and he says it's just so heartwarming. So whether you're paying it forward, which means I'm not there yet, but I want to be there. You're getting rid of that poverty mentality. You don't ever want to say we can't afford that. You can say, we can't buy that right now, or we're working towards that, or when we get the money, we'll do that. If your kids say, oh, so Susie and their family went to Hawaii, I want to go to Hawaii. You never say we can't afford that, because you're putting that poverty mentality in their head. You can say, well, we'll work towards that, and we'll put that on our bucket list to go to Hawaii for vacation. And we'll do that.
That intention is so crazy, you guys. You remember, I don't know if you guys saw that, but 3 years ago, I had put in there that I would buy land.
Yeah.
And I had it on my board. And
I remember that.
That's just crazy, because did I ever think I would? To be honest, no. Right? I mean, it was like way out there. And even though it's not Utah, the hot land is in Montana. It's just so crazy. The intention piece, you guys, it's so real. It is like, I had the house picked out, and when people say go deeper, right? Well, what does the bathroom look like? What does it smell like when you walk outside? What's that aspen tree look like? How many years has it been growing there? I mean, just that. I mean, there's just something to that. I never knew how strong the subconscious was. It's so real.
Gianna, you're so right, because when Tom and I were first going to get a new house up in the mountains, we found one picture of one we liked, and we put it on the refrigerator. And we looked at many homes, and then we found this home that came to us it was just so special. And it was the picture every day up there reminding us this is what we want to go for. And then we, about 3 years ago, started talking about having a home on a lake somewhere, maybe Wisconsin, because that's where all my family is. We looked at a few homes back there, but I didn't want to live through those winters again. But we were going to find a lake, and we never thought we'd be in Georgia.
No.
We never did. And then a year ago, I went there because of Touchstone to do an event, and this lake and this community finds us. And a week from today, we're closing.
That's
so someone said to me the other day, this seems like it's been so fast. And I said, we saw these homes a year ago. And I started putting myself in this particular house we ended up with. I saw our furniture there. I saw our life there. I visualized all of you guys coming to visit, because the whole purpose of this is that we can have events and people come in and do, and it got a little bit overwhelming and a little scary because it felt so real, and now it's real. So you guys, these are 2 examples that are real time that have happened between you and I.
Right. And look at that. It's a 3-year period, right? It's like something that you expect it to be like next month, right?
Yeah. Right. I'll tell you a funny story too. We were looking for homes here a year or so ago, and we went into a development where they were building new homes. And, when you go there, they have these sheets, we have this design, we have this design, we have this design. And we looked at the model home, and the house beside the model home, Amanda was like, oh, this is it. I love this house. This is perfect, blah, blah, blah. And she got one of the flyers that she had. And she put it by her nightstand in the bedroom. And so she kept it there. Well, I mean, you see it so much, you just don't think about it. Okay. So ironically, when we're back packing up stuff, Ethan points to that picture and goes, hey, that's our new house.
Yeah, that it is.
And I mean, it is literally almost identical.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do that.
Yeah. There's so much power there.
Yeah.
So much power.
And so when we talk about I choose to, or I'm so great, you can say I choose to, or I'm so grateful now that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Bob Proctor, I've worked with Bob a few times, and Bob was doing a training, and it gives me an idea of what I would like to do. And he came with these cards, and he had these cards, and he said, here's what I want you to do. He said, I want you to, and it had 3 spaces on the card. And one side of the card said, I am so happy and grateful now that ... And on the other side, it said, I am so happy and grateful now that, and then it had 1, 2, 3 spots. And he said, write down what that is, whatever that is, and carry that in your pocket or your purse every day. He says, you may want to get it laminated so you don't ruin it. He said, but carry that with you. He said, when you reach into your purse, you'll have to move that around. Yeah. He said, you won't even have to look at it. You'll know what it says. When you're a man and you carry it in your pocket, every time you reach in your pocket for your wallet or your keys, you'll feel it. And he said, the subconscious mind will put that thought in your mind.
Unreal.
And you'll be telling yourself every day, I'm so happy and grateful now that,
Yeah.
And so, it's powerful what that does. So you're either paying it forward, which means I'm not there yet, but I'm going to act like I am and get rid of that poverty mindset, or you're paying it back, which means thank you, Lord. Thank you for all that I've been blessed with, and I want to help others, and I want to pay it back. I want to help that. You could be the person who says, it would be so exciting if I went in the grocery store and found $5 in a diaper bag. Go put $5 in a diaper bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so one day, and you might go, that's got to come out of my grocery money. Okay, then put $1 in there, or maybe don't buy those oatmeal cookies.
That's right.
Anyway. Don't go to McDonald's and get one of those new burgers they got out. So Eli's all about making money. He's into flipping stuff, right? He'll buy stuff and sell it. So they've got this burger at McDonald's, and I don't know what it is. I always say it's like, it's some rapper guy. I don't know. I always say the rapper that I know is the one who has the clock around his neck. Flavor Flav. Remember Flavor?
Gosh, Alan,
he's our age. He's our age. So he was
we missed it. Lisa and I missed it.
Who is he? I never heard of him. And I go, I know, but think about that. I don't know who they are. But this kid, they've got posters in the McDonald's advertising the burger, right? So Eli comes in and shows me his phone. He goes, look at this. Somebody sold one of those posters for $750. Let's go to McDonald's. I'm going to ask him if I can have the poster. It says right here that somebody gave it to him at McDonald's. Let's go right now. Let's go to McDonald's and see if we can get the poster. I said, heck, Travis Scott burger. AJ knows who it is. I don't know who it is. Travis Scott. I'm like, so I'm thinking, I've heard that name before. Is he a motocross rider? Because there's a motorcycle ride. He goes, no, Dad, he's a singer. I'm like, I'm not sure that's singing, but okay, whatever. Yeah. So he's thinking about that, and you're paying it forward, and you're saying, I'm going to get there someday, and I'm going to make it someday, and I'm going to be that person, and I'm so happy and grateful. And so what I wanted to do today, and Lisa said it earlier about the 24-hour blitz. My poster for today said, some will, some won't, but some are literally praying and waiting on your phone call. And so I want you to think about that for the next 24 hours. And think about the fact that you're looking at your list on your phone, your contact list, and some will say, yes, I'm interested in taking a look at your opportunity to create some additional income on a part-time basis that won't interfere with what I'm currently doing. Some won't. But there are some people out there today who last night, this morning, whatever, did what they did, whether it be their meditation, whether it be got on their knees, who said, "Dear Lord, I need a way. I've got to figure out a way to create some additional income. We're out of work. We're on unemployment. We're, whatever it might be, and so there are people that are waiting. There's people that are waiting for you to call them, that are looking for an opportunity. And they're just saying, Lord, I wish I had an opportunity to create some additional income on a part-time basis. And if you say, well, how can we help them do that so fast? Well, all they got to do is go out and find 4 people to buy Advantage packs. They make $125 for each Advantage pack they sell.
Well, and with this little piece that we're doing with, I would just like to encourage people to think about Rankmakers. It is, one of the things that Alan taught me early on was engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can think your life is really, really, really busy, right? And you don't have 30 minutes in your day to work out or to eat right or to go to the grocery store, all those little things. This daily engagement thing that Rankmakers does with Ray, it's huge. It's huge. So even those people that are on our teams that are full-time 60, 70-hour weeks, it's amazing when you just listen to this gentleman. He gives you your daily activity. And all I can tell you guys is I did the business a different way for a long time. And that's why I left it. And this is, I just have to tell you, it is contentment. If you want contentment that you're doing something well, and exactly what Alan's talking about, that someone's looking for this, that's your responsibility if that girl is in your circle of influence. Anyway, we get a free website. It's absolutely, normally we would have to pay for a website. So even wherever you are on the 5% or the 15%, or you just want your products paid for, this is a gentleman that helps you get engaged with your rest of your life, not just what you're doing with Touchstone. It's just pretty amazing. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm giving a plug for that, but
No.
It changed my life. It's changed how I, Lisa is a professional, and I didn't do it like Lisa. I got to that middle range, but, we've all valued Lisa's, the way that she speaks and how she is not network marketing. All my team just loves Lisa because she just has that natural ability to just be herself. Right?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't do network marketing talk to you.
Yep.
Alan is like that guy that's done it, and he is that loyal, grit, and I'm going to go, and you can come with me. The door's open. So you guys, we have so many people to lean on. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox today, but it's just such an amazing community when you've got the Lisas and the Denises and all of these people here and Alan, and then you can reach over into Rankmakers and grab the toolbox with all the leaders that are over there. It's unreal. It's just unreal. Anyway, stop. Tell me to stop.
Talking about that, did you see the guy with touches 85 people a day yesterday?
Unbelievable. Yep. He walked away from all Ray was like, okay, what's your excuse? What's your excuse? What's your excuse? And you know what? Believe it or not, you guys, there are people that don't have very many friends on Facebook. They might have 100. They have maybe 35 people in their contact list.
Yeah.
But how perfect, right? Find your community on the pages. I can't wait. So anyway, that's a training tonight or today at 3:15 my time. But
yeah. And so there more that he's going to show how to do that.
I think it's tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? It's Thursday. It's Thursday because that's Forrest's day off.
So here's what's funny is this is what impacts me more over there with Rankmakers than anything else is he said, we've got a guy who started out, who's got this guy works full-time 60 hours a week job.
Yep.
60-hour a week job. He said, now I don't have kids. He said, I work 60 to 65 hours a week. Now I don't have kids, but I got a wife and a dog.
Yep.
He says, so that I have to spend time with. And he said, and so when they were promoting this guy, they're like, he's reaching 85 people a day. He's gone from 0 on a part-time basis to a multi-six-figure income. The guy's doing extremely well. So you're thinking that, okay, so who am I going to see? This guy came on, and I'm like, I love it. This is just an average Joe.
He is.
You know,
Yeah.
he's an average guy. And he's doing it all by reaching out to people that he doesn't know. What did he say? 95%? He said out of those people that you've enrolled, he's personally enrolled 1,500. Is that the number? 1,500 people personally over the last 12 months.
Wow.
I mean, you can do the math, right? You can do the math on that.
He said, how many of them did you know? He said about 45.
Wow.
Yeah.
About 45. And listen, he's not, you were talking about Lisa being well-spoken. This guy's not well-spoken.
He's just a normal person. He's a guy that has, he's going for it. He's using everything he's got, and it's going to be so interesting to see, because he does his 85, all at the same time, and then he goes back. It's just going to be so interesting to see what he does. But he always goes into pages that he's interested in. So he's a cyclist, right? So he's into really expensive bikes and blah blah blah. So you can't just go into a group that you don't know anything about or don't have a love about, right? So if you're a kayaker or whatever, anyway, it's going to be great.
It is. We were talking about groups last week with Lisa about Georgia and how to get in groups and how to talk to people and that sort of thing. And just watching this average, he had his headphones on, his headphones, and they were crooked.
And I think the reason why he goes into pages is because that's a personal page for that person, right? Mm-hmm. So that'll be kind of interesting, because in groups you can't really message people, can you, Alan?
You can.
But that's a little bit of, if the rules and regulations are a little tighter.
Depends on the people in the group. And one of the points that he made was this. He said, when you're messaging people, because Ray said, if you're messaging people that you're not friends with, how do they know that you message them? Because it's in a different place. He said, I'll go back, when you're talking about going back.
Yes.
I'll go back and then I'll comment something on their page about, you're getting a specialized bike. I'm getting a specialized bike too. I'm looking at those two, and I'm trying to figure out what color I want and what style, and whether I got to get this, whether I got that. And he says, if you're not a bicyclist, you can't have that conversation with somebody.
Right.
Or you're not into canoeing or whatever. He says, and he'll say, FYI, I sent you a message on Messenger.
Yeah. Yeah.
The person goes and looks for it.
Yep.
And so I thought, anyway, I thought.
You guys, he also said, some days I spend 15 minutes. On Thursdays, I spend 7 hours, because that's my day off. And then I'll grab 30 minutes, 35 minutes. You know what I mean? So he lives his life, right? But he makes his week.
He's got a routine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's got a routine. He's got a calendar. He's got a schedule. This is when I'm doing what. Just remember we talked about before with relationships. It's important to say, I tell Amanda, okay, from 5 to 7:30 each day is family time. We're going to do dinner. We're going to hang out. We can watch TV. We can do whatever. I'm not a TV watcher. And before we go, I wanted to say that, I never watched the news. And so this hurricane down there, Hurricane Sally, is doing some serious damage down in Alabama and the Panama City and there. So we want to pray for those folks. I had no idea until I saw something pop up today about that. Didn't even know. Wildfires out west, that they're still going on. Some of the pictures out there. And so there's lots of people in this world who are suffering. And so we're blessed. Those of you who are on there with us now, we're blessed. Happy Wednesday. We could have it worse. We could have just lost our home in a fire. We could have just lost our home in a hurricane. We could have just lost our family. I've got a dear friend of mine whose son is in ICU, and he has a disease of his spine, kind of like, with spinal meningitis, but he got an infection in his spine and was going to the doctor. They couldn't figure it out. So then he literally had a fall and ruptured his spine, broke his spine, and that's how they found the disease. And now he's paralyzed. This kid is like 30. Let me think about this. My daughter's 38. He's 4 years. So he's 34 years old. And he's now paralyzed from the chest down. From the chest down, 34 years old. And it's just horrible. So we are blessed. And so go out there today and share some love with people. Remember, some will, some won't, but some are praying for your phone call.
Well said.
For
Love
your
that.
family.
Love
Yeah.
that.
So, thanks, gang. Love
Bye.
you.
Love you. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.